Are you spending more money on your interest than you should?
Stop! Just stop! Stop!
1 out of 3 Canadians is just because they don't know how to increase their credit scores. Let's solve that. Oh yes, you will get that 800 plus score if you follow these tips. Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Armagan. Welcome to the channel where we discuss everything related to money, investments and taxes in Canada. Today we are talking about boosting credit scores. If you have lived here or have just moved to Canada, you must have noticed that credit scores are everywhere. From your search for an apartment to a request for a credit card to an application for a car loan, people will judge you based on your credit scores. The higher the score, the more confidence the lenders will have in your ability to pay your loans on time. Obviously, this confidence of the lenders then gets you lower interest rates on your loans and mortgages. Okay, so that is sorted. We know why we need a higher credit score. Now, let's have a look at this image. Take a screenshot if you want to, or just write these down and memorize the words and numbers on your screen. These individual factors, when combined, make up your total credit score. Understand these so that we can strategize for each factor. 35% is the payment history, 30% is the utilization ratio, 15% is the length of credit history, 10% is the new credit applications, and 10% is the credit mix. If you want to understand the details of the calculations, you can have a look at this video. But for now, the first thing that you can do to boost your credit scores drastically is to convince someone to add you as an authorized user on their credit card. This might not work in every situation, but when it does, it can give a boost of way more than 100 points in some cases, and that too within a month. For this strategy to work, the person with the primary account must have an excellent credit score, possibly more than 800. If it is less than an excellent score, then the positive impact on your score will not be that much. I've seen people jump from a score of 650 to 760 just by being an authorized user on a credit card of a person with an excellent score. Remember, not all credit cards report authorized users to the credit bureaus, which means your credit score will not have any impact if it's not reported. So before you become an authorized user, ensure that the financial institution reports authorized users separately to credit bureaus under their respective accounts. This solution might not be for everyone, as not all of us have family members or friends with a score of more than 800 who are willing to tag us as authorized users to their accounts. Obviously, there has to be a lot of trust between these people, as bad spending habits of that new authorized person can negatively impact the credit score of the primary applicant. If you can't become an authorized user, then get a secured credit card. If you're new to Canada and you don't have any credit history, or if you are rebuilding your credit score and you're not being approved for a regular credit card, then a secured credit card is an excellent way to start building your score. A secured credit card is similar to a regular credit card, but it's backed by cash or security deposit that you make before receiving the card. The cash deposit you make will determine the credit limit for your card. For example, if you give your lender a cash deposit of $1,000, they'll grant you a credit limit of up to $1,000. You'll be able to spend that amount, but you'll need to make regular payments to your lender, just like a regular credit card. Since the upfront deposit secures this card, you are generally guaranteed to be approved for this card, which can then be used to improve your credit score. Just make sure you are paying off your monthly bills on time. Which brings me to my number 3 recommendation: pay bills on time. Your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score, which means that you can increase your credit score by focusing on bill payments, but at the same time, you can ruin your score by missing even a single payment, which should not be the case since it is now much simpler to track your payments when almost every bank offers auto payment options. Not paying on time will also result in penalties and high interest charges, along with a negative impact on your credit score. So avoid this at all costs. Do you know what other thing you should not avoid? You should not avoid subscribing to this channel. I promise there are a lot more videos coming up on personal finance and money management in Canada. After that shameless plug of self-promotion, let's get back to the video. Let's say you were not able to pay your bills on time, or you made a large purchase and you were not able to pay it entirely. That balance would be on your credit card, which would have already negatively impacted your credit score. At this point, you must be paying a high credit card interest rate on that outstanding amount. So my tip number 4 is to use balance transfer credit cards. A balance transfer credit card is a credit card that offers an ultra low introductory interest rates For example, 1.99% for a set promotional period, generally for 6 months. When you transfer a balance onto this credit card, you will pay only this low interest rate for the promotional period. The trick here is to pay off the maximum portion of this outstanding amount in these 6 months before the interest increases back to the standard rate. As the overall credit balance reduces, your credit score will start improving because of a lower credit utilization ratio. So my next recommendation is to keep your credit utilization ratio low. Credit utilization is the percentage of credit you have used out of the total credit available. It makes up 30% of your credit score and is one of the biggest factors that can impact your credit score. Let's look at an example. If you have a credit card limit of $1,000 and you use $250 out of it, your utilization is 25%. You keep around the same average in the next 3 months. Then suddenly in the 4th month, you buy a fancy monitor or a refrigerator and spend $800 from your credit card. For that month, your statement will show $800 and your utilization will be at 80%. The credit score model will think that there's something wrong with your finances and it will lower your credit score despite you paying the dues on time. You should always aim to keep your utilization below 30%. In this scenario, when you spend $800 from your card, you should try to repay as much of this as possible before your credit card statement. So when your balance runs, you are still around or below that $250 average of the last few months. Obviously, the lower the better. This brings me to my next recommendation, which is to take the offer to raise your credit limit. What this will do is to give you an additional cushion in your existing credit limit and will help you in reducing your credit utilization ratio. Obviously, this recommendation assumes that you will not change your spending habits and will responsibly use the excess credit given by the financial institution. Hey, if you are enjoying this video, then why not press the like button?
It's like a button.
Recommendation 7. Or is it number 8? Anyways, my next recommendation is to diversify your credit mix. A credit mix refers to the types of credit accounts you have opened. This includes credit cards, but it can also include loans and mortgages. I've seen a lot of people who ignore the potential of using a diverse credit mix to increase their credit scores. If you have been using a credit card to build your credit score, adding a mortgage or a car loan will give your score a boost because lenders like to see that you have been able to manage different types of credit accounts responsibly over a long period of time. This is only 10% of the score but can have a drastic impact. Next tip is to not diversify too much. I know this is opposite to what I just said, but hear me out. You should not get more credit or look for more loans just to diversify your credit mix. Yes, diversification is good, but there will come a point when you won't need additional lines of credit or new personal loans, and obviously you should not get them. Remember, not all credit inquiries are equal and they can impact your scores differently. A hard credit inquiry, sometimes referred to as hard pull or hard check, happens when a potential lender checks your credit report before approving your application for a loan or a new credit. Hard credit inquiries provide lenders full access to your entire credit history and will temporarily impact your credit score. Recommendation 9 is the 2 weeks rule, which is that if you are looking for a new loan and are going to different financial institutions for better rates, you should do that within the 2 weeks if you want the least impact on your credit scores. For example, if you are talking to different banks for mortgage options when buying a new home, the credit bureaus will club and consolidate those inquiries into one in your credit report. This means that rate shopping will not negatively impact your credit score if it is done within a short period of time. Recommendation 10 is to take care of the length of credit history. This makes up 15% of your credit score, which is generally made up of the age of the oldest account and the average age of all accounts. The trick here is to ensure you keep your old credit accounts active so that their history is part of your credit report. In fact, if you have some old cards, you should consider using them now and again on small purchases to make sure that the lender doesn't close them due to lack of activity. Recommendation 11 is to monitor your credit report at least every 3 months. For example, you may look at the report in detail to verify the accounts listed are accurate or that credit inquiries conducted on your report were made with your permission. If you spot an error on your report, you can take additional steps like contacting the financial institution or the credit bureau to ensure those problems are sorted. This constant monitoring also helps you to stay safe from any identity thefts that may impact your credit scores. You can check your credit scores from the link below. So my final thoughts. In Canada, any score above 741 is considered an excellent score, and you will potentially get the same financial offerings that you would be getting if you had a score of 800 or even 850. Yes, you should definitely make a conscious effort to improve your credit score. But once it gets to the top tier, you can keep it on autopilot mode by following good money habits, and the credit scores will not be a problem anymore.